Book, we need you, but only when you're healthy. On this edition of the Sundress Dunks podcast, we know that groins are nothing to mess with. So, Devin Booker, we need you back, but please don't rush it. It was definitely an up and down week for the Suns, a lot of highs and lows, and ended with a really tough game last night against the Rockets. Going into it, you definitely expected a loss against a tough opponent. That's a bad matchup for us, especially without Devin Booker playing. But then when you saw Shingun was going to miss the game, you got that glimmer of hope that maybe we could pull it off. But alas, it was not to be. We still cannot stop Amin Thompson. This guy has all of his best games against us. He went 12 for 17 with 31 points, leading the Rockets. And then, of course, KD finally played against us. And it looked like a man amongst boys, going for 11 for 17 with 28 points. We just could not stop either one of those guys. And, I think against teams like that, we really need Ryan Dunn to play more than 18 minutes. But at some point, we're going to need a bigger defender out there, need to get another forward somewhere. We really could have used Isaiah Livers in this game. But, at some point, the dream would be if you could offload Royce and or Nick Richards and get some kind of power forward or bigger defender that maybe is on a cheap contract or, maybe doesn't score a lot of points, but just can defend some of these guys. Because against teams like the Rockets, they really make us look so small. And of course, the biggest problem on offense was we shot 5 for 36 from threes. Are you kidding me? I know you don't have Devin Booker in there, but that is easily the worst we've shot all year from three. We've been one of the best teams in the league at shooting three-pointers, and we just could not make a bucket. We were led by Brooks with 23 and Jamari Bouye as a second leading scorer with 18. Those guys were solid, but no one else could buy a bucket. Of course, earlier in the week, you had the loss to the Nuggets. We had Mark Williams out in that game, and even though he was questionable, Jokic played. So when you're missing your big center and you're going against the best one in the league, of course, that was an expected loss. We did lose by 18. And, the Nuggets were balanced scoring, but the biggest problem was Tim Hardaway Jr. hit 7 threes in that game. We also got out rebounded in that game 40-32. And we only shot 44%. Booker and Brooks were good in that game, but outside of that, you didn't have anybody else really show up. Of course, the other game in the week was the game where we got all of our positive vibes this week, and that was beating the Lakers by 17, even though Devin Booker only played less than 10 minutes after going out with the groin strain. Dylan Brooks went off for 33 points on 15 for 26 shooting. And the other big story of the Lakers game was Colin Gillespie hits career highs with 28 points and 8 threes. And we beat the Lakers in fast break points 28-2. And after that game, JJ Redick with the money quote, if you don't play hard against that team, you're going to get exposed. And that's really been the story of this year for the Suns. Jordan Ott has a great job of making the Suns into that hustle team that Matt Ishbia said they would be this year. And so on nights like that night against the Lakers, we can really expose some teams and have big wins. But, when Devin Booker and Jalen Green is out against teams like the Rockets, you just don't have enough offense to win the game, even if you do hustle and play defense. So we'll see how it goes, but we definitely want to give A Twitter shout out this week to a great follow on Twitter, and that is at JG, standing for Jalen Green, JG Supremacy 4, at JG Supremacy 4. And he says, this team has been giving me the most fun I've had watching basketball in my entire time watching the NBA, and this team isn't even fully healthy. And that's been the biggest thing for me. It's not shocking me that we have a winning record, but it is shocking me that we're doing it through all the injuries. We've had Jalen Green out for all but one in a partial game. We have Devin Booker out now. We've had a lot of games missed by other players, including Mark Williams sitting out back-to-backs. And through it all, we still have been very consistent for the most part, and we have the winning record. So great tweet there by JG Supremacy 4. And he's one of my favorite follows on Twitter right now. He's new to the Suns Twitter this year. So make sure you follow JG Supremacy 4. Also this week, I've been trying to give the Sundress dunk to different people. We've given one to Ryan. We've given one to Oso. And then most recently, we gave one to Jamaree Bouyea. But this week, for the Sundress dunk, we've got to go back to the old favorite, the guy who's striking fear into the hearts of every opponent when you see him coming at you.
All over his former teammate Durant. Plays the passing lane, gets the steal done. Winding it up and taking Holiday.
Ryan Dunn. He has a Sundress dunk almost every single game. So we had to give it to him again this week. We need to see Dunn do some other things out there, be more consistent. We can't have him only playing 18 minutes a game, but he definitely is bringing the dunks. And hopefully we'll see him round out the rest of his game soon. So now let's do the Phoenix Suns stock report. And we'll start with the stock of the players. And of course, for stock up this week, for the first stock up, we've got to go again with Colin Gillespie. We're going to pretty much throw out the Rockets game anyway. No one played well in that game. But in the Lakers game, you had Colin Gillespie hitting a new career high for points, new career high for threes. He's been starting the games now, and he still, for the most part, has been very consistent. So great job, Colin. Keep it up. The second stock up for the third week in a row, we've got to go with Jamaree Bouyea. Has been playing more and more minutes. He's a big part of the rotation right now. And against the Rockets, he was our second leading scorer. So you've got to give a big stock up to Jamaree Bouyea. And for the third stock up this week, we've got to go with Rasheer Fleming. He hasn't really been playing for the main team, the Suns, but he went down to the G League team and he hit a game winner. The first game winner of Rasheer Fleming's career, and hopefully the first of many. And I watched that highlight. I'm looking around for the clock. I'm looking around for the buzzer. And I never did find him because it was a target score. And, I don't know if they always do that in the G League. I haven't really been watching it. But, it's not the greatest game winner when you don't even have a clock or a buzzer out there. But still, Rasheer Fleming hitting a game winner. Stock up. Let's keep it up, young fella. But who is going to be the stock down for the Suns this week? I'm going to have to go with two guys. The first guy I'm going to have to go with is Grayson Allen. He's been injured, but he came back this week. He had two very subpar games. Against the Rockets, he only shot 3 for 12. He's been surpassed by guys like Colin Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin, and even Jamaree Bouyea lately. I think the biggest problem for Grayson Allen right now is he doesn't have Devin Booker out there. He needs Devin Booker to take some heat off of him, and hopefully Grayson Allen will get back to being that sniper soon. Right now, without Grayson Allen playing like he was earlier in the year, the Suns' offense is really stuck in the muck. So we'll see if he can do it. And the second stock down for the second week in a row, it pains me to say it's Devin Booker. You know, he's injured right now. Even before the injury, he wasn't playing well. But Devin Booker, I got to give him the stock down right now. We'll see if he comes back and plays this week. He's rushed back from his groin injuries before. But Devin Booker, please rest up. We need you. So what about the team stock? So right now we are 13-10. We're in 7th place pretty solidly, but we're 5-5 in our last 10. We're really only staying in 7th place because other teams are doing so poorly. You have teams like the Clippers that are complete dumpster fire and just told the all-time great CP3 to go home just because he's trying to speak his mind a little bit. Come on. So, but you know, the Suns through it all, they're still in 7th place, and we'll see if they can keep that. They need to get healthy if they're going to keep that 7th spot, even with some other teams faltering. We'll see if they can do that. So what about the week ahead? So Monday, we go on the road against the Timberwolves. You know, every time we play the Wolves, I think it's a Devin Booker game because he always goes off against the Timberwolves. That's one of his favorite teams to play. But this time, Booker is not going to be there. So we're going to need some other guys to really show up. And, you know, the real question is Isaiah Livers going to play? Kidding on that, but we really could use Livers out there. He's been playing pretty well lately. So, you know, we did beat the Timberwolves last time by 1 point in the crazy comeback. Can we do it again without Devin Booker? I don't know. I think that's probably going to be a loss on the road. It's going to be tough in there to go against Anthony Edwards, but we'll see. The only other currently scheduled game of the week is on Wednesday, the road game against the Thunder in the Cup. And, you know, Jordan Ott said Booker might play in that game. That's basically the day he's going to be reevaluated. He's probably itching to get back out there and to play in that Cup game and to try and advance, to try and get our minimum salary players the money from that Cup. But, you know, Devin, if you're not healthy, please don't play. Please don't restrain the groin and hurt yourself and miss more games. So we'll see, you know, whether Book plays or not. The Thunder are easily the best team in the league. They're another long, athletic team that's going to be really tough for us. We did play them really well last time, but, you know, you have to think that's probably going to be a loss even if Booker plays. After that, the next scheduled game isn't for 8 days later until the Warriors, but you're going to have at least one game in there somewhere at the end of the week or the beginning of the next week. If we lose, it's going to be one game against one of the other losers. If we win, it's going to be at least one more game. And then if we win that, it could be 2 games with the championship of the Cup game. So we'll see. We'll see if we can advance in the Cup. We'll see if Devin Booker comes back. You know, I don't expect Jalen Green to be reevaluated during the Cup, but probably after that, right around Christmas, Jalen Green's going to be reevaluated. So we'll see when Booker and Green get back. We really need them to give our offense a shot in the arm. But if we keep hustling like we did against the Lakers, we should still be able to get some wins. So we'll see. Is it going to be Suns down or is it going to be Suns up? We'll see.